In the heart of Japan, a country that sometimes can get a bit overwhelming with bright lights, neon signs, dense subway systems, crowds of people, and its synchronized chaos, there is a city among mountains and rivers named Kyoto. A city where every corner whispers stories from centuries ago. Cherry blossoms float through the air like delicate pink snowflakes. Temples and shrines stand as silent guardians of Japan's rich history. Each season in Kyoto feels like nature's work of art. It's the perfect place to spot geishas and explore Japan's culture, beautiful gardens, and great restaurants and shrines. I arrived here on the world's fastest train, the Shinkansen from Tokyo, the electric capital of Japan, where I spent 4 days exploring the must-see attractions. You can check out my videos about the most attractive places and about the adrenaline rush of the Shinkansen on my channel. But now, here I am in Kyoto, a city that's as different from Tokyo as night is from day. With so much history and culture to explore, it's hard to know where to begin. Plus, with Japan becoming more affordable for travelers due to the weakening yen, the crowds here have definitely increased. So, is there any way to enjoy a quiet Kyoto while still experiencing some amazing culture? Yes, there is. Alright guys, we have another little adventure. Good morning. Now, the weather, even though it seems nice right now, it's gonna be raining in the afternoon. So the cycle tour said I could give you a full refund if you don't wanna go. And of course, as usual, I can't decide. So I'm just gonna walk there and it's starting to drizzle already. Hello, are you guys cycling to Kyoto?
Yes, it's
Hi, hello.
for the 10 a.m. or 9:30?
I'm for 9:30.
9:30, okay, please come in.
Okay,
be
thank
careful. This is someone else's house?
So I got a message that it's gonna rain, so
Yeah. No worries, yeah, but it's just a trickle.
okay. I booked myself a bicycle tour from Cycle Kyoto. It's actually the perfect way to see the city as it is one of the best places in the world to bike around. Is there a lot of uphill and uphill? No.
This is a very flat city. Yeah.
So
perfect for
most
bike.
people are able to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah.
Roads are well maintained, drivers are actually sane, and there are plenty of places to purchase or rent a bicycle like this one.
So this is actually a very important place. Okay. And then after that, we'll go to the next location, the Golden Temple. Yeah. And for the record, this is actually number 2 most visited tourist spot in all across Japan.
So this is how the tour is gonna go. First, the architectural eye candy, the Honganji Temple. Then we'll head to Kitano, Tenmangu Shrine and learn about Shintoism, the ancient faith of the Japanese. After that, the second most visited place in Japan, Kinkaku-ji, or the Golden Temple. After grabbing a bite of traditional Japanese lunch, we'll head to the Imperial Palace to witness the breathtaking cherry blossoms at their peak. Then, on to the Gion District to see the geishas. Finally, we'll end our tour Fushimi Inari Shrine, where you'll finally get to see those red torii gates in real life instead of just on your Instagram feed.
If you want to turn right, like this, go to the left, and then like this, I want to slowing down or stopping.
But here? Okay, this or 2. Okay, and then in between, I will switch your formations. Okay, to get a better smooth transitions during crossing the traffic light. Okay, follow me.
It is our first stop here at a temple.
The name of this place, Nishi Honganji. Okay, Nishi, and then over there, Honganji Book Center. Can you see?
Yes.
Yeah. So Nishi Honganji. No need to remember. Just place it somewhere behind your memory, and then when somebody mentions about it, you can just say, "I've been there."
Founded in 1321, it's the heart and soul of Jodo Shinshu sect of Buddhism, one of Japan's biggest Buddhist sects. This temple is no joke when it comes to size. Its wooden structure is so massive that you might have to pick up your jaw from the floor. Its complex design really shows off the glory days of Momoyama period. Not your average IKEA furniture, that's for sure. It's one of the largest wooden structures in the world. Walking through the temple, you sure feel a sense of peace. Well, that and the creaking sound of the century-old wooden floor. So this is the private hall, and that is the hall that was built for the founder, the builder here. This is the place where there are ceremonies, graduation, funerals, marriages, but that's the one where people go for praying, and that's open to public. And this whole complex is the Buddhism for the commoners. There were 4 types of Buddhisms that came in Japan. One for the aristocrats, one for the samurais, the elites, and then commoners. And that's why the commoners ones is the most popular. Nice place, very surreal and serene. Now, back to the bike ride. I have to catch up with the group. And I did catch up, eventually. Anyway, now we're heading to Kitano, Tenmangu. Nice traditional houses. While we're cruising through the streets of Kyoto, let's go over some tips. Stick to the designated bike paths and ride on the left side of the road. It ain't USA. Obey those traffic signals and signs, and remember, sidewalks are for pedestrians, unless there's a sign saying otherwise. Don't be that guy. Pedestrians are the king, so yield to them on shared paths.
Careful, behind you, pedestrian. Crossing.
As for helmets, it's not mandatory, but it doesn't hurt to wear one. Keep your eyes on the road, not on your phone. And when it's time to park, only do it where you're supposed to, unless you're a fan of fines. Alright people, so far, great experience. It's not too hard except for just one short leg for like 10 seconds, but it's super cool.
We've arrived at our next location. Over here is actually a Shinto shrine, and the name of this place is actually Kitano Shrine. Okay, Kitano Shrine. So actually, you know what? Modern day Japanese, olden day Japanese, traditional Japanese, everywhere. Okay, any kinds of age. Shintoism is actually very important to them. So what is exactly Shintoism then?
Shintoism as old as Japan itself. In Shinto, nature, animals, and even important figures are all seen as divine. These divine beings are called as kamis. Kamis in Japanese and Shin in Chinese, with 2 meaning way in Sino-Japanese, making Shinto basically the way of the gods. The sun is the most important god, protecting against invasions. That's why the Japanese flag can be seen as a symbol of Shintoism. This is an important place here in Kyoto, and you would see a lot of different amazing stories. Firstly, if you look at the roof, that's built by the bark to avoid lightning striking and catching the whole building on fire, because everything was built by timber. Also, I learned that this sake is stored here because it's considered as something that would purify the body. Also, this is considered as something that you would offer to the gods, and the gods would then get a bit drunk and then be okay to listen to you and grant your wishes. This is a true story. This Shinto shrine is dedicated to Sugawara no Michizane, a brilliant scholar and politician who lived over 1,000 years ago. Revered as the god of education, students line up to pray for those straight A's, and who can blame them with such a beautiful backdrop of cherry blossom. And a nice tree with cherry blossom. So if you catch a falling cherry blossom, that's considered as good luck. I'm already so lucky to be doing this for you guys, so I think I'm okay. Alright, now time for second most visited place in Japan, the Golden Temple, or the Kinkaku-ji. So the people in my group were talking about the god of rains and storms in Hinduism. Since it was drizzling a little bit, for the life of me, I couldn't remember his name. Oh yeah, Indra. I should remember, because it's an Indian goddess. And it was our Prime Minister as well. Indra Gandhi. Yeah.
So, were you in India originally?
I was originally Hindu and I was born in India.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, but now I'm an atheist and I live in the US and I eat everything including pork, beef, which is not allowed in India.
It's not.
My dad only eats chicken, and in India, moms only eat vegetarian. Strange.
So I got a friend that's late vegetarian, Indian.
Yeah. Which,
I think his wife eats meat.
yeah, I tried it many times and I want to be in my heart, not hurt animals, but it's too hard.
Yeah.
All right, people, in the Kinkaku-ji neighborhood, we have this golden temple. Not the golden temple in India, but a golden temple that was built in the 15th century by the shogun. So this is the ticket to get inside. And this is a Buddhist temple that was used to train people like the samurais. And this is back in the 15th century.
So this is actually a charm protector. Amulet protector. What they do with this, usually they will stick this on the top of the front door or inside the living room on the wall to protect the whole house.
Before you roast me in the comments, I know I'm holding it upside down. I'm sorry, but I don't know kanji. Thank you very much. All right, there she is, the Golden Temple. This Zen Buddhist temple, like our guide said, was originally a retirement villa for the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu. As you can see, the pavilion is 3 stories high. The first and second floors are covered in gold leaf, and each floor represents a different style of architecture. But do you know this structure is an original? On 2nd July 1950, 22-year-old novice monk Hayaki Yoshin, who had become obsessed with this temple, burned it down. Hayaki was arrested before he could commit suicide. He was then sentenced to 7 years. The current structure is an exact replica, built in 1955 to restore the magnificence of the original pavilion. All right, that was a fun experience. Now we're gonna go get some lunch. So that is the restaurant that we're gonna be eating at. Right, we begin with hot sake. They gave us some tempura, which is like a typical Japanese dish that usually consists of seafood and vegetables and have been coated in a thin batter and deep fried. Plus, we had the choice of getting either noodles or udon as the side. The Gion District in Kyoto is well known as the area where geishas live and work. Walking through the traditional wooden machiya houses lining the streets. It's as if the city itself is breathing with the memories of generations. You might even catch a glimpse of geishas or geckos and their apprentices, maikos, heading to their appointments. In Kyoto, young girls move there typically at the age of 15 to be taught communication and hospitality skills in various traditional arts. After an introductory training and exam, the talented and determined will go on to become a maiko and eventually a gecko a few years later. Great story about geisha, and write down comments if you'd like me to do a documentary on it. I can explain everything, how it started, and what really geishas or gaikos are and how it is declining now. Gion is especially magical at dusk when lanterns light up the streets and the sounds of shamisen music fill the air. It's an experience that feels almost otherworldly. Alright guys, we were here at the palace, the Imperial Palace. Just like how we saw in Tokyo, there's an Imperial Palace here. Unlike the Tokyo one where you can't go, in this one you can, but you have to reserve a spot. So right now we have no plans to go there, but we are gonna rock and roll and continue our bike tour. Our final destination is the iconic Fushimi Inari Shrine. Welcome to Fushimi Inari. This is one of the most popular spots in Kyoto, and we're gonna go ahead and visit it. Dedicated to Inari, the Shinto god of rice and agriculture, this shrine is famous for its thousands of red torii gates that create a mesmerizing pathway up Mount Inari. This is the most popular site in Kyoto, for good reason. So of course, there were a lot of people. It was chaotic. The thousands of red-orange gates, which the shrine is famous for, are actually torii. Who knew? These torii gates line the trails beyond the main buildings, which lead all the way up the sacred Mount Inari. For some reason, I imagined these gates only covering a small portion of this trail, but they cover the entire thing. There really are thousands of them. This is not an exaggeration. These torii gates are donated by individuals or companies as offering to the shrine. So we bid farewell to this magical place in Japan, and that wraps up our incredible bike tour with Cycle Kyoto. It really is the best way to explore the city, a 10 out of 10 experience. Kyoto is a city where history, culture, and natural beauty come together in perfect harmony. I hope you enjoyed this journey as much as I did. If you loved this video, don't forget to like it. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.